Alright, so in this video we're going to look at the GCHQ Christmas Challenge 2024. And we're going to look at the first question only. But before we jump in, I'm going to just show you a bit of background about the organization and the challenge itself. So first of all, the organization that made the challenge is GCHQ. And if you Google that, you'll find their website, but also a Wikipedia article. And so if we go onto the Wikipedia article, we can just have a look at the background behind the organization. So first of all, it stands for the Government Communications Headquarters, and they primarily deal with intelligence and cybersecurity in the national interest, of course, in the UK. So quite a big organization, quite an important organization. But if you go to their website, which I'll go onto here, you can see at least now, because it's January, well, it's going to be January tomorrow. So it's still kind of near Christmas time. You'll see on their homepage the main article for the 2024 Christmas Challenge. So you can go there, but you can also Google GCHQ Christmas Challenge, and you'll find that it comes up right at the top there as well. And I think they have an archive as well. Here we go. Yep. With all the previous year's Christmas challenges as well, if you want to do those. So, if I go back to the article here for 2024 and click on it, you'll see a bit of background that they write about it. I'm not going to go through it because you can read it yourself, and it's not important to actually doing the challenge. However, it is worth noting that this challenge, to my knowledge, is primarily aimed at secondary school students. So this is kind of like 12 years old to, I think, around about 16 or 17. So it's aimed at that kind of age range. So it's not going to be ridiculously hard. You don't need a ridiculous amount of knowledge about cryptography or anything like that. So it's quite a nice open puzzle. That being said, I'm not going to assume it's easy because I could spectacularly fail. So yeah, it's probably easier than a challenge aimed at adults, but it's probably still a bit of a challenge, which is good. Either way, it's going to be fun. So that's good. But anyway, at the bottom of this article, you can find the files for the challenge. So you got the questions here, some hints, a schools pack, and the solutions. I've only downloaded the challenge and the solutions, and I don't know whether I'm going to look at the solutions after each question or after the whole thing. I think if I really cannot do a question, I'll have to look at the solutions, and I'll try my best not to look at the solutions for any of the other questions, any of the future questions I plan to do. But I will aim to not look at the solutions at all until right at the end, because if I think I get each question right, then I don't think we'll have to look at the solutions, because the whole point of the challenge is you do each question sequentially. And without further ado, we can look at the questions. So this is the question sheet. It has 7 questions, including the front cover. Straight away, you can see the front cover is like a Morse code sort of thing, and you've got some numbers at the bottom. 7 animals, or well, 7 things, and I guess there's 7 questions, so maybe that matches up, whatever. But anyway, you do all these questions and you get to a single final answer. So if I can help it, I will not look at the solutions until right at the end. But if I'm really, really stuck, I think I'll have no choice but to look at the solutions. So, without further ado, pause the video and download the questions if you want to have a go yourself. But yeah, I think that's all the background info really. So we can jump right in. You can see here there's a page on the left and a page on the right. The right is the cover page, and the left is like the contents of the actual question. I'm gonna look at the cover page at the end because it looks like it kind of brings together all the answers from the questions. There are like 7 things here, and there's 7 questions, I'm guessing. So I'll do that at the end. But anyway, so we're going to start off with the left page. We're just going to read the intro. So each of the 7 puzzles below will lead you to the name of a UK landmark. Okay. Use the names of these landmarks and the front cover of the card to discover what people across all of our GCHQ locations will be this Christmas. Okay, so landmarks and locations. Okay, okay. So they're going to bring together each of the individual UK landmarks that you get from each question in some way. Yeah, in some way that allows us to discover what people across all of our GCHQ locations. Oh, what? Will be this Christmas. Oh, wait, what? Okay. Use the names of these landmarks on the front cover of the card to discover what people across all of our GCHQ locations will be this Christmas. Okay, yeah, and it sounded a bit odd when I was reading it out the first time, but yeah, I just sort of went with it. But what they will be, who knows? They might be human, they might not be human, who knows? Anyway, so we'll have a crack at the first question. You can see there are 7 questions. Oh, hopefully my PDF reader can render the page nice and smoothly, but anyway. There we go, okay. Yep, hopefully that shouldn't be too much problem moving forward because we'll just be looking at the first question. So anyway, here we go. First question. What does this say? So we have pictures here. I'm guessing money. We got royalty or a king, crown. We've got meat or, yeah, bone, meat. We have, I think, a friend, and we have a card, Ace of Spades. So these pictures together give us a UK landmark somehow. I'm going to primarily use pen and paper, and obviously not real pen and paper because it's hard to show on the screen, so I'm going to use virtual pen and paper over here. And I've already got a title and I've already written stuff down. And just to go back to the images, you can see I've written down in order from left to right, so money, king, meat, friend, ace of spades. The words, I've wrote down the words already. And I guess the idea is somehow these will lead us to a landmark, a UK landmark. So money, king, meat, friend, ace of spades somehow gives us a landmark. Now, there's a couple of ways this could lead us to a landmark. One is that all of these pictures give us a landmark in terms of the idea of them. So like a rich place, a place with royalty, a place with lots of meat, a place with friends, maybe a lot of people, who knows. And it's an ace of spades. I don't know. Ace of spades could mean something like the key card, right? The main one. So all of this might point to just London, but it's a landmark, so it can't be a city, I guess. So yeah, it can't be, yeah. So then cool. I'm not too sure. Yeah. So because it's a landmark, can't be a city. The next landmark that comes to mind is Windsor Castle, just because of the royalty, I guess, but then the others don't match up as neatly because, well, I guess friend or people could be anywhere, right? It doesn't have to be Windsor Castle. So, yeah, okay. The other option, so that was the first option in terms of looking at the ideas behind the pictures. The second option that I can think of is write down the words and maybe it'll give you an anagram or something like that. Maybe not. Yeah, so anyway, we get, if we write down the words, we get MKMFA. Looks like gibberish to me, so I doubt that is supposed to be the way you solve this problem. And looking at the last letters, again, you get equally, I think, a nonsensical set of letters. That's if we use card here, but ace of spades, I mean, it's 2 words, so I mean, it's either D or S or something, if you take the spades end bit, or ace, could be E, maybe. But yeah, I mean, same thing here with the first letters, if we're just going with card instead of ace of spades, and it could be C here. But equally, just doesn't seem to make sense. So I think the idea of, or the method of looking at ideas, the ideas behind the pictures is the only way, it looks like. And it should be a UK landmark. That's the whole question. Oh man. So yeah, ideas. We have Windsor Castle. Let's just say answers, like possible answers. Let's say possible. Ba, ba, ba. So I think at the top we can. I'm just gonna go with Windsor Castle, because it's got royalty, it's got money, richness. If that's the idea behind lots of meat, is probably something like richness, and it's got that, I imagine. Um, so yeah, yeah, that's my first guess. I cannot think of anything else, really, and I won't look at the solutions. I won't look at the solutions until right at the end, because maybe when you bring together all these UK landmarks, if you get one of the landmarks wrong, you can probably figure out that it's wrong because it doesn't fit together, right? So then you can maybe alter your answer to question one. Or, well, I think I will probably have to alter my answer to this question because I think I got it wrong. But um, yeah, I cannot think of another one. I mean, the other one would be Buckingham Palace. I think Buckingham Palace. Yeah, that's. I live in London. I don't know why I didn't think of that the first time round. Buckingham Palace. Oy, two E's. Yeah, let's just Control Z. There we go. Okay, so that's that. I think Windsor Castle, Buckingham Palace, maybe Tower of London, but I don't think it's a very fun place to be, um, given the history of it. But anyway, I think that's probably it. Maybe the friend aspect is kind of like you can have a good time there, or you go there with family. This one's kind of throwing me off a bit. I don't. Can I highlight that? No. Okay. Yeah, the bottom left picture is a bit. I don't know. Either it's just incredibly broad, or it's just throwing me off. So yeah, I'm not too sure about that. Okay, so we have our little page here with the answers. Bit of working out, like um, this bit, this stuff here is probably not applicable, right? Because it doesn't seem to be anything to do with the words, just the ideas behind the pictures. So I'm gonna go with that. These UK landmarks. Might have to change later on. Who knows? So, thank you for listening, watching, and I hope you'll join me for question two.